So what is up everybody, welcome once again to my YouTube channel, and today let's continue with the CRO Championship as we are in Monaco for the Monaco Grand Prix. I just want to tell you that I was behind schedule on the races, so I'm trying to upload this as fast as I can so I can catch up to the weekend I'm actually driving at, so I can get on with my career mode series once again, as we are now preparing for our qualifying lap, the RS Open, going through the gears at this, I think we can call it straight, as we prepare for the very bumpy braking zone into Saint Devote, as the barrier are always very close on the outside, very dangerous to go through there as we try to push the car to its limit on qualifying, as we go uphill into the Casino Square section, 140 kilometers an hour, as we are now going downhill onto this very tight right-hander, which leads onto the tightest corner in the whole calendar. The cars need a special modification on their steering column just to get by this corner, which is unbelievable to think about, as we open the trajectory just to close it again, just grazing the barrier on the inside, as we are now going through the tunnel flat out through this right-hander as we prepare the downhill braking zone onto this chicane, as we clip the apex quite nicely there and get the throttle down as perfectly as we could, just to go through tap back as fast as we could. We could have maybe opened up a little bit of the trajectory going now through the swimming pool section, the car wanting to step out of my behind, as we are now on the last corner, opening the RS, trying to put the power down as quickly as possible, going up through the gears to post a 1.12.804, which got us P2 at the time. But now as we move onto the standings, we actually got passed by Shizel and El Nabo in the closing stages, so they got the final podium positions, as I am fourth, followed by Juno, Mizzy, Alex, Softlock, Ash and Joe closing the top 10 for a probably very exciting Grand Prix. So here we are at the Principality of Monaco for round 6 of the CRO Championship, the Chicane Racing Online Championship, and let's find out who, at the end of the afternoon, will race the most desired prize in all of motorsport. The astonishing Circuit de Monaco is, for all intents and purposes, virtually unchanged since its inaugural race back in 1929. The faster cars of today ensure the 19 corners past the Casino Square and along the seafront remain as thrilling as ever. A 3.3 kilometer lap here takes us around an entire country, yet never more than inches from the race-ending barriers. So as the drivers are starting to prepare for a good start and are on earth to get through Saint Devote in one piece, let's join them in the cockpit. As we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Lights out, and away we go for the Monaco Grand Prix, as Jamie gets a push start. Shizel is already side by side with him. I'm already side by side with El Nabo, though I need to give him space on the inside as he dives on the inside of Shizel to get P2 on the run up into the Casino Square. I fortunately didn't give any room for Mizzy to overtake me, and Billy Greenham has crashed out. Billy Greenham is not in a run of good luck and is crashed out for at least his third Grand Prix in the row, as the safety car is going to be deployed, so race neutralized by now. As we fast forward onto the end of the safety car period, so maybe we can find some openings, as maybe some push starters, so we can get some overtaking opportunities present themselves. Which it does not look like it, as Shizel is already a couple of car lengths ahead of me. So this trio of the Ferraris and the Mercedes have been very strong the whole weekend. So maybe I could not get ahead of those guys or even close to them, as our teammate retired at the end of the tunnel section. And Mizzy is still pressurizing us at the end of lap 9. As you can see, it's just tenths the difference between us, as we have a safety car, a virtual safety car. I don't know why it happened. I didn't have any messages about any retirements. So yeah, well, it is what it is. We got it, and I took advantage of it a couple of laps later to go into the pits and get rid of my ultra soft tires. Try to change onto the onto the super softs so I could get an undercut or at least get some breathing room from Mizzy, as we are going to get overtaken by a couple of cars at the exit here, and we are going P12 right behind Softlock, which is not ideal for me because Softlock was not very fast at this weekend. So I was just in a hurry to overtake these guys. As you can see, I'm very fast on these corners, and I just lost my patience and forced an overtake maneuver. And well, that didn't go quite as planned. That gap was always going to disappear, and more time lost. So it ended up hurting us more than actually sitting behind him, waiting for him to pit, as we are now crossing the line to complete lap 13 with Jamie right behind us, as we are maybe going to overtake Dildo Schwagens, who is coming out of the pits, and yeah, we get P12 from him. Well, in the meanwhile, we've caught up to Rogue as we get another position from Joe M pitting. As we are now in tunnel, we are much closer to the Red Bull, and Widescreen Jamie is even more close to us as the Ferrari is filling up our mirrors, as we have some kind of tangle at the end of the tunnel between Ash Bandicoot and someone else I didn't quite get. As we now have some yellow flags ahead, it is Alex who has crashed out at the swimming pool section, and that's going to be massive for the championship, as he was one of the main contenders for the championship at the end of the season. As we are now going to have Rich Mix and DRS and the slipstream on the Red Bull of Rogue, so we are maybe going to try and move on the outside. We get tagged by him, so we need to avoid him. Go on the inside. Jamie puts us in the wall as we are going up through Beau Rivage, and Alex has left the session, and Jamie does not find a way past Rogue. As we are going into the next corner, Jamie tags the inside wall and collects me. We get stuck, and he is out of the race. The pole sitter is out of the race, and there is another whole front wing away from my car. As you can see from the replay, he tags the inside wall, and then I was just a passenger at that point. As you can see, there was nothing I could do. I was braking as hard as I could, as quick as my reaction time allowed me to. But well, that's just how it goes. Sometimes there was nothing both of us could have done in that situation. So back into the pits we go for a set of ultra softs and an entire new front nose, as I think Speed Killer left the session. Maybe he crashed out. I didn't quite caught him on the message there. As we are now last as we come out of the pits, and we are catching up to Frozen Luffy now at the end of lap 19 with a very stupid corner cut there, which got us 3 seconds worth of penalties. As we are now at the end of lap 20 and we caught up to Frozen Luffy, we have DRS, and pay attention to the right mirror at this time. As we go under braking, we never have contact, so I thought that he was just cutting the corner to defend for me, but actually on his screen I tagged his left front, so that almost sent him into the wall there, so that's why he cut the corner. It was not to attack me, it was because on his screen I hit him, so apologize for that. And we are now jumping onto lap 27 as Rogue saves us the hassle of trying to overtake him once again. And we are now at lap 28 at the Casino Square, and there is another yellow flag. It is Joe M out of the race, so both Williams are out of the race as we post a purple time on the first sector, as we are now on lap 30, and there are more yellow flags ahead of us. Well, it was Ash Bandicoot, actually another one being claimed by the walls on this racetrack, as we get another 3-second time penalty as we are desperately trying to catch up to Shady. So that is not going to help our case, as we have yellow flags for Softlock, and Softlock retired from the session, so maybe terminal damage for him as well. As we are now jumping onto the last lap of the race, as I'm going to get lapped by El Nabo and Shizzle. So crossing the line, it is going to be El Nabo who crosses the line first, but actually it is Shizzle who wins the race. Shizzle wins the Monaco Grand Prix, with a great drive from him, sitting right behind El Nabo the whole race, and El Nabo got 9 seconds worth of penalties, and that allowed him to take the win at the Monaco Grand Prix, as we are in a very peculiar situation, as actually Softlock closes the top 10 without having actually finished the race. So, and just look at that time penalty for White Screen Jamie is very funny as well. But now moving to the championship standings, Juno is still leading the championship with 93 points, with Chisel right behind him carrying 81 points so far. Then closing the podium we have Speed Killer, who has 58 points, which is the same amount he has had since his win in Russia. Then in fourth we have Billy Greenham with 53 points, who has not finished any of the last 2 races, who is now is followed by Alex, who is only 2 points behind. Then we have Omar B2 in 6th, El Nabo in 7th with 45 points, and White Screen Jamie sits in 8th, 14 points behind. Then in 9th we have Soy Goods with 28 points, and 4 points behind is Ruben, closing the top 10. Then we have 11th and 12th, who are occupied by both Red Bulls, who are separated by only 1 point, with Shady, the second Toro Rosso, who is starting to find consistent points this season, is sitting in 13th, tied with newcomer Mizzy, who got a podium finish at his debut race, so great race from the Renault driver. Talking of Renault drivers, in 15th we have the other Renault in Dildo Schwagans with Softlock only 2 points behind in 16th. Then we have the lone Haas of Frozen Luffy with 17th with 5 points, and the last of the point scorers is Enzin with only 2 so far, and then we have Brad and Joe M91 failing to score any points this season so far. So we now jump onto the Constructors' Championship, and Force India are still commanding with 144 points, followed by Ferrari, who has 112, and Toro Rosso is closing the podium with 73 points. Then only 2 points behind we have Manor in 4th, Mercedes 5th with 55 points, mostly on the back of El Nabo being the only driver so far to finish every race in the points. Then in 6th we have Williams, as Red Bull with 35 points sits in 7th. Then in 8th we have the Sauber team with 30 points, followed by Renault, who jumped to 9th due to their double top 5 finish, so they have 25 points so far. And we have As with only 5 points, as Frozen Luffy has also 5 points, is the only contributor for that team. And then we have the only team who failed to score a point so far, the struggling McLaren. So this is it for today. This is it for the race report for the Monaco Grand Prix. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and next up it will be the Canada Grand Prix, if I am not mistaken. So I'm hoping to see you guys there, and have a wonderful day.